And that's what he's doing. He keeps saying people are going to FOMO in. The only person FOMOing in is him and people who are taking his advice. And everything that he says is based on his imagination. He thinks Michael Saylor's secretly buying Kaspa. No, he's not. Binance deal with loads of crypto. They're not making a special case for Kaspa. How many of you guys are Kaspa holders or Kaspa HODLers? Like me, I'm the same. But how many of you guys are subscribed to Mitchell Lim's channel and have been taking his advice?
So as we all know, Kaspa for the past few days has in fact been dropping. Guess what? Today Kaspa is continuing to drop further down to the downside. Man, Kaspa right now, it is super cheap. That's what you guys need to understand. As I've been telling guys many times, Kaspa is super undervalued. I truly do hope you guys are in fact, taking this moment right now, taking this as a gift, an opportunity to, accumulate more Kaspa. I truly do hope you guys are doing that.
He keeps telling his subscribers that Kaspa is super undervalued. We've got to understand.
And guess what? If you guys cannot, buy the dip, maybe you guys ran out of capital. I've been there. It happens.
Now, the reason he knows what it's like to run out of capital is because that's exactly what's happened to him. When Mitchell Lim is saying maybe you guys have run out of capital, that's probably from taking his advice to keep buying every week. He keeps saying that soon people are going to FOMO into Kaspa. The thing is, the people who are FOMOing into Kaspa are you following his advice and him. Now he's buying not as much as he was buying last time when it was at 8.5 cents. Yes, the last order he made was for 2,000 Aussie dollars at 8.5 cents. Now he showed himself putting in an order at 7.5 cents for only $400. Now, following his own advice, he should be putting in more, not less, when the price goes down to this price. But he's not. Why? Because he's run out of capital. And also, it's all well and good saying, I'm just buying to hold, yeah? You're wanting to accumulate, just like he says in his videos, I want to accumulate as much Kaspa as possible. But what's happened is, he's bought the hype and kept FOMOing in, that by the time it's come to now, he would have been able to probably have bought twice as much Kaspa by now. So he'd hold twice as much Kaspa if he'd just done nothing. Yet he keeps telling you to keep buying Kaspa. This is a guy who sold his ETH to buy Kaspa. He sold, most likely, because I've tried asking a few times in his comments and he never answers a question, did he sell his Solana for Kaspa? And now the price is dropping and he's run out of capital. What you're getting by listening to him is really bad advice. He's in a mess, quite clearly. The only thing saving his ass is the fact that he has got Bitcoin. And just as well for him. Actually, no, put your money where your mouth is. If you're so big on Kaspa, sell your Bitcoin. Swap that for Kaspa. Stop telling other people they need to understand. Because what he's doing is absolutely stupid. He's like a gambler at a casino on a losing streak. He keeps throwing more in the hope of doubling up. And that's all it is. He knows he's seen reds. Why don't he tell us how much Kaspa he holds and exactly how in the red he is?
It is down 10%. Okay, and you guys may say, why am I so happy, right? Why am I so happy when Kaspa is dropping? Well, it's pretty simple, right? As I told you guys many times, I'm trying my best right now to, accumulate as much Kaspa as I possibly can. So of course I want the price to go lower. And it is, right? I don't mind if the Kaspa price goes lower. I don't even mind if it goes, let's just say it does go back down to, 6 cents. I really don't mind if that does happen. I'm accumulating, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I am trying to stack as much Kaspa as I possibly can, okay, and storing it for a long-term play.
Making out like everybody else is the idiot here. but he keeps encouraging his subscribers to keep buying. And every time his subscribers buy, what happens? The price keeps going down. Now, I know this. I sold 40%. I should have sold more before prices came back down from nearly 9 cents, 8.5. I sold 40%. In that time, I bought AVAX, and AVAX went up, and I was able to take some profits from AVAX. And should I choose, I could have also then just simply rotated all that back into Kaspa. And this is what you have to really, really understand. Forget what Mitchell Lim says you have to understand. If you want to accumulate Kaspa, I'm not saying don't do it, because I think it's a great project, and I've said that time and time again. But I'm able to accumulate just as much Kaspa, more Kaspa actually, by not just FOMOing in. And that's what he's doing. He keeps saying people are going to FOMO in. The only person FOMOing in is him and people who are taking his advice. You're the ones FOMOing. The smart people buy a bit as they go along. When it dips, buy more, but not be emotionally attached to it like he is. And everything that he says is based on his imagination. He thinks Michael Saylor's secretly buying Kaspa. No, he's not. He thinks Binance are secretly have a plan for when they're going to release. There's a reason they're not putting Kaspa on just yet. They're waiting for the right moment. Seriously. Binance deal with loads of crypto. They're not making a special case for Kaspa. They will put it on when they put it on. There's no special, we're waiting for this to happen, or we're waiting for this special moment because Kaspa's so special. They're not doing that. That's all in Mitchell's head. That's in his head because he's trying to justify why he's holding so much Kaspa. And he keeps coming up with these things like Michael Saylor is buying it. Smart money is in Kaspa. No, it's not. Smart money only buy certainties. They don't need to buy when something's at low prices like it is now. They can wait, like they did with Bitcoin, like they are with Ethereum, until it's in the thousands, in the tens of thousands, because to them it doesn't matter. They can afford it. And when they've seen that it's got history, then they can come in and buy it because it's more guaranteed. They're not going to lose. They're not risking that money doing nothing in the meantime. They know it's going to be gaining. So smart money are not in Kaspa. Get that through to your head, Mitchell Lim. Michael Saylor, I can pretty much guarantee, is not secretly buying Kaspa. He won't be secretly buying Kaspa until it's at least $500. Probably not in our lifetime. These are all feelings. Whenever he says, I've got a feeling, yeah, I can guarantee you he's probably wrong. This is him justifying himself holding so much. It's what we do to lie to ourselves. It's how we convince ourselves we're doing the right thing, even though deep down, we know we've made a big fuck up. And this guy bought Luma and made massive losses by going all in, like he likes to say, on Luma. This is what you're dealing with. So if you're taking his advice and you keep going, well, I'm holding forever, then you need to have a word with yourself. You need to assess the situation. I'm not saying sell all your Kaspa, and this is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just saying you holding it all that time has cost you. And what does it cost you? The thing you want, more Kaspa. Then it gets worse because it keeps going down. So your unrealised returns or losses, you don't want to make them realised when perhaps you would have been better off shaving some of that, just like I did, and put it into better things that make profits in the short term. Kaspa is a long-term project. It has a long way to run. If it does deliver the life-changing sums It will happen 3, 4, 5, 6 years time down the road. That gives you plenty of time to keep buying Kaspa. So stop FOMOing into Kaspa. And to be fair, it's not a bad time to pick up some Kaspa, which I can do because I've got liquidity, because I sold some Kaspa and rotated that. I can buy more as a result of that, rather than just blindly holding and missing out on profits in the meantime. You've got to ask yourself, if Kaspa is where it is now, with all the other alts having pushed up, why? Is it going to move? Well, firstly, it's not on Binance, which is a big sticking point, because it is when retail come in that they gravitate to things like Coinbase, Binance, and that is where the major liquidity comes from that sends prices parabolic. Okay, it might go up to $1, might, in this alt season, but there are going to be many other safer bets that outperform Kaspa in this alt season. And best of all, things are going to retrace at some point in 2026. Prices are going to come tumbling down. And again, you'll start being able to pick Kaspa up probably around the same price it is now. But worst case scenario, 10 cents, 25 cents. It's easy to pick it up at that price. You're not going to miss out, because you can still afford to buy a lot and enough that will change your life, should it reach its potential. So stop panicking. Stop listening to Mitchell Lim, because he should be transparent with his losses, because I guarantee you his losses will be eye-watering. And as much as he says he's smiling and he's happy that prices are going lower, all he's doing is trying to throw more money in so we can see greens eventually. Just some glimmer of something being green. And that's all it is. Yet, what he's doing, in reality, psychologically, is he's sitting in front of a video and he's telling you what he wants to believe. He's not trying to convince you, he's trying to convince himself. And that's all well and good, but do you really want to be in the same mess he is? Because that's what will happen. There's going to come a time, because this is what happens, a lot of people will be going, oh, this is never going to happen, because they're going to lose faith in it when it doesn't do what you're hoping it'll do in alt season. And even if it does do what you're hoping it'll do, $1, $2 in alt season, are you going to take profits because you're expecting it to go to 5, 10, 20? So you ride it all the way back down. And then, when it's back to where it started, give or take, you'll suddenly get pissed off and think, why don't I just fucking buy Bitcoin? And then you'll sell all your Kaspa at a loss and buy Bitcoin. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's price has gone even higher, and you'll wish you never had Kaspa in the first place. And then people like me will be buying up Kaspa because it'll be dirt cheap, even cheaper than it is now, because all you long-term hodlers have sold. It's that no-win situation, that cycle. You need to stop being emotionally attached to Kaspa. Think with your head. Importantly, you've got to think what is going to make the most money in the short term, and then plan the long term as you go along. And what I mean by that is, for instance, Mitchell Lim. Like I say, he hasn't responded when I've asked this question a number of times. How much Solana did you sell? And this is a man who bought Solana when it was already high, rode it down, rode it back up again, and then 6 months ago, maybe more, I don't know, I think he said he was going all in and getting rid of all these other alts. he bought Cas with that. So I think he sold his Sol at around maybe a small loss, maybe a small profit. So then the Solana price has gone through the roof since then. He got Kaspa at its all-time highs. And in the meantime, had he just done nothing and waited till any time around now to sell that Solana and buy Cas, he'd have twice as much Cas. Twice as much Cas. Double the Cas. And it's as simple as that. He's also got rid of ETH for it as well, and it's a disaster story. So he needs this to pay off. So he's desperately looking for any little bit of confirmation, any little thing to make him feel better, and he's making you do the same. So stop fucking listening to this guy. Seriously. Bitcoin will do alright for him. That is what's getting him out of the shit. But seriously, I am behind Kaspa as much as the next person. But please be sensible. How much have you got tied up in Cas right now? Let me know whether you've got... Whether you... I don't think anybody's going to admit to it, because you just get this circle of people lying to themselves and thinking that they're being really smart by already having the liquidity stuck in Kaspa. They're going, well, I've got X amount of Kaspa, I've got 75,000, I've got 100,000, I've got 250,000. Well, you've got 250,000. Yeah, could have had 500,000 if you'd have been smart about it. If you'd have just taken your time, you could have had 500,000 Cas. As I've said before, and it's not financial advice, but it's just bleeding common sense. Fine. If you insist on building your Kaspa bags, that's great, but stop being blind to what's really going on. And being inflexible. And going round and round and round in that same circle of denial. Because it's costing you even more Kaspa in the long run. So, I know most of you are in probably a situation where you can't sell even if you wanted to, because the losses are too much. That's why I chose to make my decision to dump 40% of it, and looking back, I'm like, perhaps should have dumped more. And that's my only regret. Perhaps should have dumped more. Because I'm making money now. Or making more money now as a result. And also at the same time, I'm able to just keep myself top up Kaspa as it dips. And what a surprise, it's dipped again. So it's the entire market, of course, because that's what happens. The markets go up and down. And that's why there's no need to FOMO into Kaspa. Anyway, let me know what you think. Probably beating my head against the wall trying to explain it to some people, because perhaps some of those people shouldn't be buying crypto anyway. The only saving grace for Mitchell Lim is buying Bitcoin. You've got to ask whether he should be in crypto, but if he wants to throw his money away the way he does, that's absolutely his business. But it's when people watch his videos and perhaps don't realise. Just be careful, because a lot of what he says is just his feelings that are made up. Like I say, Michael Saylor. Binance having some special consideration about when they're going to launch Kaspa, because it's so big for them. I mean, this place already has fucking Bitcoin, Ethereum and everything else, you know. Yeah, Kaspa. That's what they're really, really bothered about. No, it's not. It's just, whatever reason that we do not know, it's not being listed yet. Probably will be eventually, but until then, plenty of time for stacking. Catch you later, guys. Leave a comment, leave a like, and do subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.